Over the years, teachers have approached instruction in various ways, adjusting and adapting content and method to suit the needs of their students. Also through the years, the home and school have become close partners in the education of the young. As change accelerates with developing technology and new information, and the 21st century approaches, we must not only educate the student for today, but for the future. For example, mathematics was previously a pencil and paper exercise. It has now evolved into something quite different. That is the thrust of the core curriculum, preparing our young people for what is to come. Education for the future. The core curriculum will result in teachers approaching instruction in different ways. Students will be better prepared to deal critically and creatively with such problems as careers, finances, media pressure, healthy lifestyles, and leisure time. Where did the development of core curriculum begin? In 1981, the Department of Education began a process of public involvement to determine the direction of Saskatchewan education. In 1987, the minister released plans for the implementation of the core curriculum. These plans were the first step in a curriculum journey which will take another 10 years to complete.
Thank you for seeing us, Mr. Weber. We've just moved to Saskatoon, and we've heard a lot of good things about both you and your school. We hear that you're a caring person and that the school is warm and friendly. We'll be enrolling 2 of our children, and we thought we'd come and introduce ourselves.
My name's George Parker, and this is my wife, Marcy.
How do you do?
I'm glad to meet you.
Thank you. But in addition to meeting you, we've come with a concern.
Well, I'll be happy to help if I can. Have a seat, please.
Thank you.
It's about the core curriculum. We don't know much about it.
We have a daughter who plays clarinet. You aren't going to cancel the music program, are you?
Oh, the answer to that is an emphatic no. If you have a few minutes, I'll tell you a bit about the core curriculum. I can tell you about music and a few other subjects in the process. One of the major components of it is the required areas of study. You'll notice it includes language arts, mathematics, science, and so on.
They look like the subjects that students usually study in school.
Well, in many ways, they are the same as what we've taught in the past. The major difference is that all of those subjects will be revised to help us achieve the goals that we think are important for our students.
Do all children study all of the subjects listed there?
Well, all students in grades 1 through 9 must take all of those subjects listed under the required areas of study. Students in collegiate don't necessarily take all of those subjects every year. We have a number of locally determined options such as computer and band. As a matter of fact, we've just finished a staff in-service on this, and in the process we've developed a videotape which illustrates some of our programs in support of core curriculum. Would you folks like to see it?
That sounds interesting.
Okay, it's only a few minutes long, and I can explain what's happening as we're watching this tape. Please interrupt if you have any questions. One of your first concerns had to do with band. There's a section on this tape, I believe it's coming up right away, where you'll see that you have absolutely nothing to worry about when it comes to band. Ah, here we are.
1, 2, 1. Double F, accented. Air. 1, 2, 1.
Band will be part of the arts education component. It will remain much as it's been in the past.
One. One. And one. Okay. When I say to listen to each other, that's communication. Critical thinking. Critical thinking means on the saxophone part in the stage band that you have to have those 8 notes played properly in the proper style. So you're doing 2 things at the same time, critical thinking and communication.
I guess you accommodate a subject like band in a special way. Do you do that with other subjects as well?
Oh, indeed we do. In our elementary schools, we spend up to 20% of our school time on locally determined options. For example, here we're watching telemedia. This program is a 17-day unit of study for grade 7 language arts students. It focuses on communication and television technology.
How much are your credit cards?
Lots. A lot. More than yours, of course.
Which style of clothes do you like?
Oh, expensive ones, yes.
One full day is used in 2 studios to shoot interviews and commercials. Another half day is used for editing. Every student has a chance then to be both crew and talent.
Are we ready? Yep. Ready. Quiet on the set. Roll videotape.
The program promotes communication skills as well as critical and creative thinking.
Take 3.
The unit also stresses technological literacy, particularly as it relates to television. Now in the next segment, I believe we should see another one of those options available at the elementary level, the French language program.
Bon, mes amis, maintenant que nous avons trouvé toutes nos solutions, il faut décider si les solutions sont bonnes ou mauvaises. Alors, nous avons besoin de critères. Quelles sont les questions qu'on pourrait nous poser? Stephanie?
Est-ce que c'est agréable à la famille?
Oh, bien.
You can see how students are being given an opportunity to learn how to communicate in a language other than English. In our collegiates, we also have a considerable number of locally determined options. Our secondary students are able to choose those options as elective credits. For example, in graphic arts, those students are learning how to transform their visual images into a finished product.
Pencil, right? Very nice. Tabs look good. Squeegee action. Yeah, that's a nice start.
Here we see the Student Assistant Program. This is a credit option which gives hand-on experience in the workplace.
Brent, would you come and file these for me, please? And when you're finished filing those, would you go up to Mr. Adams' room, room 44, and ask him to send that student down for me? Thank you.
Room 44?
Our collegiates provide a great variety of elective credits for young adults. Here's an example of one of our home economics classes. This is an offering which continually attracts many youngsters. Industrial arts allows students to acquire technical competence in many skills, such as electronics. And here's metalworking. And woodworking. And this is motor mechanics.
I sure wish we had a few more of these options in my day.
Yes, we're really seeing a lot of opportunities here.
Oh look, here we're about to see one of the most exciting features of our music program. Computers have greatly enhanced individualized instruction. Now these students are studying music theory with the help of a computer program on key signatures.
That's F, B flat, E flat, A flat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that means that's A, B, C, D flat?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Getting better at this anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pull, pull, pull.
Oh, fine, it just does it.
What you've just seen here are a few examples of the options available. This next segment will show you what we mean by the adaptive dimension. Children come to our schools with different backgrounds, and their interests and abilities vary. The adaptive dimension frees teachers to adjust the curriculum to the students' needs.
What about the first time you met me? Like everyone knows here that I'm a native. I'm actually Cree Indian. What was your impression the first time you met me?
I think my first impression was just that you were a normal teacher and that
no different from anybody else. I was used to Mr. Danye being around, and it was nothing special, really. Besides your natural charm and wit and grace.
Okay, Jason. Hi, This approach doesn't mean that each child is on an individual program, nor that instruction is given necessarily on an individual basis. In fact, most students will be taught in large or small groups in an appropriate classroom setting.
Same words that you gave me the other day that I wrote down. So if we could just look at the chart and read through
See,
the
the
words.
curriculum must fit the students, not the other way around.
Can I just...
Now, whether they're academically talented
Yes.
or handicapped. And our schools provide a wide range of programs for students with special needs.
Big clouds in the sky. Good morning to you, Riley. Good morning to you, Stacy. Good morning to you, Ranald. Good waving. Good morning to you, Fanny. We're all in our places with bright, shining faces. And this is the way we start our new day. Good!
You know, there are many young people who need programs that are specially adapted to ensure their full development. Our system also gives a high priority to programs for the visually impaired and hearing impaired.
Okay, hide a cough or hands. Okay. Stand it up, Janelle. And here's a new pattern. What did I put on the light box?
Bubbles.
Bubbles. Can you pop some bubbles? Good girl. What color are the bubbles?
Blue.
Good looking, Janelle. Good looking. Right, hands, please.
Okay, let's check your equipment, Maureen. Would you like to test the battery on that side while I'm listening to this aid? Okay, thank you. We'll do a little sound check. Are you ready? Ah.
Ah.
Eh. Ooh. Okay, good girl. Okay, so this we will do tomorrow together on the vocabulary. You will have to get some newspapers.
Not only do these students receive individualized instruction by specially trained teachers using the latest techniques and state-of-the-art technology, they also enjoy a warm and positive reinforcement of highly motivated personnel.
Make a start on that, Maureen, so that we have time to get it finished. You've done very nice work so far. I'm really pleased. Okay, thank you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
With the help of these specialists, the students are integrated into their regular classroom programs as much as possible.
Hi, Maureen. We're working on your election project now. How's your report coming along?
Pretty good.
Okay, here's today's paper. There's lots of information in it. And just starting enjoying what the rest of the class is doing now.
Okay.
Our son will be attending a collegiate before long. How will the core curriculum affect the number of credits he'll need to graduate? I understand it's gone up from 21.
Well, that's true. As of June 1991, students will require 24 credits in order to graduate. In the past, many of our students have achieved 27 credits and more, and they'll continue to be able to do so in the future.
But not all children want to go to university. Our son, for instance, doesn't show much inclination that way. How will core curriculum help him?
Well, in Saskatoon Public Collegiates, we have several alternative courses and programs that should satisfy most of his needs. Your son will receive assistance in choosing his courses from guidance counselors and administrators no matter what collegiate he attends. We care about our students, and our many and diverse courses are one way of our showing that caring and concern.
Well, that makes me feel much more comfortable about the core curriculum, right?
Yes, a lot better.
Well, the newest part about the core curriculum, and the part that holds the greatest promise for our future, is the common essential learnings. Every teacher in the Saskatoon school system has been given opportunities to learn about using core curriculum, common essential learning specifically, in the classroom.
I see you have them listed there. What are these common essential learnings?
Well, these are the learnings that are so important that they must be part of every subject that is taught. It gives a consistency to the approach used by teachers. Each common essential learning is taught by every teacher at every grade level. If you give me a moment, I'll find a few examples on our tape. There we go.
Communication skills are very important for these children. Without communication skills, they're not going to be able to compete in a kindergarten classroom. They're not going to be able to survive in the world as they go out and work in it and live in it. The children need the social skills more than anything else, and that's a major thrust of our program. They need the social skills to be able to cooperate with their peers, to be able to work with their parents and with their teachers, and just to be able to survive in a classroom or in the community.
This afternoon I was working with a grade 6-7 class, and what I had them do was create a game, demonstrate the game to the rest of the class, and also explain the rules to their peers. The common essential learning objectives that were utilized in this lesson were critical and creative thinking and also communication. I think as you saw, the students really enjoyed this activity.
The music programs in our collegiates provide many opportunities for independent learning.
The guitar program in particular is a student-based curriculum. Students learn techniques of playing the guitar as a group and then are required to practice these individually. Some students choose other pieces of music to work on individually and then are evaluated on these. They are learning a skill that will certainly last them a lifetime and hopefully will give them a lot of enjoyment as they pursue their musical interests.
And so you can see, common essential learnings are incorporated into all subject areas. Well, I think we've really covered all the bases when it comes to core curriculum. We believe that it will provide an appropriate education for every child.
Thanks, Mr. Weber. You've been very helpful.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you very much. But I know when we get home we're going to find at least a dozen questions that we should have asked when we were here.
That's right. Well, if you do, please don't hesitate to call. And in the meantime, let me give you some detailed information on core curriculum. Now, here are the required areas of study that we were talking about, and it explains them in more detail. The essential learnings.
We care about your children and the quality of education they receive. And that's why we're planning so carefully to provide all children attending Saskatoon's public schools with the knowledge, skills, attitudes, and values they require for a successful future. I invite you to visit our schools, familiarize yourself with the programs, and learn about your child's progress.